Previously on that Cthulhu John.
Luke Thompson just wakes up in his apartment. Hey Luke, it's Nancy. The twins don't want to see you this weekend.
Christ, Nancy. Unbelievable.
Walter, there's a call for you. Luke Thompson?
I don't know exactly what all Lenny told you, but...
I'll see what I can do about looking for Lenny.
Hey Walter, any chance I could borrow your car? I think I'm going to stop by that Flowers by Yuki.
You see Lenny Cobb getting brought in handcuffs. You see them take him towards the interrogation rooms.
What's he done? Who wants to talk to him?
Says the chief wants to talk to him.
So I kind of just gently leave the tape recorder.
You see that they are carrying out Lenny. You see them drag him out front where there is an awaiting ambulance. When you go back to the interrogation room, you find the tape recorder. However, you don't find a tape inside of it. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon when you arrive at Flowers by Yuki. Yes, hello. Can I help you with anything? You see a little tattoo on her forearm. The tattoo looks like some sort of snake.
We spoke about the lotus. If you've never heard of that one, have you heard of the pink lotus?
We have some here. Just follow me. And then you see her with her palm up to her mouth. She blows something in your face. Heather, you're tripping out right now. I think you will tell me how you know about the Black Lotus.
Swing by the truck depot where Lenny used to work. I believe Lenny said the flower was behind the desk. I take out my handkerchief and I snip a couple of the petals that are on the back. I want to call the hospital too.
Okay.
And see if I can inquire about Lenny's condition.
Says, well, unfortunately, he didn't make it. Hello, thanks for joining us for That Cthulhu John, episode 46. We are a Real Play Call of Cthulhu podcast. I am George, your keeper of arcane lore. And with me are my friends and investigators, Chuck.
Hey there, Underworld.
Chad. Hi. And Jenny.
Hi.
Darn it, that was my best Jenny.
That was pretty good.
Somehow Chad was right between Yuki and Jenny. It was pretty good.
That's what she said.
All right, guys. When we last left off, Heather was in the basement of Flowers by Yuki when she got some powder blown in her face, likely Black Lotus powder.
Maybe. Allegedly.
She inhaled it, went pretty crazy, said everything she knew about Walter, about Lenny, about the Magus 5, everything, to this woman, Yuki.
Spilling the beans.
Snitch.
During this spilling of said beans, she was having horrific hallucinations. Things like snakes coming out of her mouth and...
You got Lenny'd.
Oh, no, I was thinking that today when I was re-listening. Oh, no.
I think you just got cobbed.
Just horrible visions. Mostly snake-related.
I've been there.
But that's where she left off after passing out. However, we left Walter at work. Walter, it's about 2 o'clock now for you.
Casually going about his day, thinking everything's all right, shelving books and asking people if they need help with mundane things.
Restocking all the dictionaries.
So Walter's just trying to basically bury himself in work to try to keep himself sane, it sounds like. So Detective Thompson, we left you off at about 2:30. This was after you had seen Lenny get brought in to the interrogation room and then later leave the interrogation room being drug out, put into an ambulance, and later found out that he did not make it.
Yeah, I didn't know at the time, but they were pretty much weekend at Bernie's and I'm out the door.
Yep. I mean, they drug him, like seriously,
Yeah.
like legs behind him, completely dead weight.
They They said he was responsive when they put him in the thing, but now I don't know who to trust. Who's telling the truths?
All right. So you also left a little cassette tape while the interrogation was going on. When you went back to grab the tape after the interrogation, after Lenny had been drug out, you saw that the tape was missing from the recorder. And then Detective Thompson went to the truck depot, walked right into Skinny Joey's office, undisturbed by anyone, because, well, Thompson knows Skinny Joey pretty good. Or at least they know that he has higher up ties between him and Chucky. Thompson goes into the office of Skinny Joey and he snips a couple of leaves off of the Black Lotus that was in there.
Yeah.
And he takes them with him.
And I would have returned.
What did you do from there?
Is my, like, precinct or whatever? I mean, am I at, like, the main police building or something? Would there be a crime lab?
The roundhouse.
Where I work, that is. I want to go to the crime lab.
Okay. All right, so you get back to your work around, we're going to say 2:30. You go down to the crime lab, where there is a, like, fresh out of college kid there. She's wears, like, really dense glasses, like, you know, those Coke bottle kind.
Mm-hmm.
And she's kind of mousy, small, but her lab coat jacket's a little too big for her. You know her. Her name is Catherine.
Kathy. Ack.
Yeah.
Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate.
But she prefers to go by Catherine. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
You might have fun with her and call her Kathy every once in a while.
I think I'd call her Velma.
Oh, yeah.
I might. Maybe not. Too serious. But I am friendly enough with her, I guess. So, that's good to know. Well, I had to see if she is still, or if anyone is down in the lab.
Oh, when you go down there to the lab, you see her, you know, sitting there in a chair. She has over a long table that has many beakers and things like that on there, and she's at a microscope. And when you walk in, the door suddenly slams shut behind you. The door is just janky. You know this already, though. It doesn't scare you, but it
gets her attention so that, you know,
it alerts
I
Kathy.
don't have to wait very long.
Right. She looks up real quick.
A nod. Kathy, you busy? Wonder if you could take a look at something for me.
She says, well, Detective Thompson, I guess I can take a quick look. You know that she kind of flirts with you every once in a while, but her flirting isn't very good.
I see.
She's very, very, very shy kind of thing, but, you know, when she has to interact with you, she can't quite hide that she kind of has a crush on you, I guess you would say.
Too bad I'm married to the job. Would there be any, like, empty evidence bags or anything around that I could grab real quick? And I want to keep one of the lotus petals that I cut, and maybe I snipped a couple. Give her a piece of one.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if you could take a look at this. Tell me anything you can about it, as far as chemical effects on the human body or anything, really. This flower is not supposed to exist, from what I understand. But someone may have been poisoned with it.
She says to you, what do you mean the flower doesn't exist? As you hand her the petals.
I say, I don't know. It's a black lotus. Allegedly does not exist.
She says, I'll look into it. And, I'll analyze these petals that you gave me, but I don't know what's going to turn up. Anything exciting here.
And then take my sunglasses off of my lapel. And as I'm about to walk away, I say, don't say I never brought you flowers. And I put the sunglasses on.
I was gonna say I imagine the guy in that commercial with the ostrich.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Limu Emu guy.
That would be awesome.
You seem way too suave all of a sudden.
He's not. I mean, I just feel like he's very dry and direct. I don't think he's very fun. But except for when he's got his sweet one-liners.
That's great.
Which I'm afraid that I'm gonna have to try to make up as much as possible.
No, that's great. fantastic play into the character.
That's his addiction. No, I don't know.
Kathy, or Catherine, says that she will analyze those pedals for you. And you walk away to use your sweet one-liner.
Mm-hmm.
With one-liners like that, it's no wonder she flirts with you from time to time.
That guy's so cool. That middle-aged single dad.
Well, and then she might be mousy, but she's like 25, and she seems into you.
I mean, you know.
And she respects the game, clearly.
Yeah, she's fresh out of, not college, but like a master's program.
Are you guys trying to get me to like take her out? Like, what are you doing right now? Fine, God.
Anyway, so where do you go from there, Detective Thompson?
Realizing I never really stopped for food.
Okay.
We're gonna fill that empty void in my stomach with coffee and cigarettes.
All right.
So I go up to my office.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hang out for a little bit. Try to find some perspective. I'll start going over some files and stuff, I guess. Maybe just killing time, hoping that she has something soon.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking that I'm meeting up with Walter for coffee, possibly later. I think I'll just hold off on food, wait till later. Skip lunch.
You skip lunch. Wow. Okay. So, like you said, you go over some files and everything, and come about, we're going to say 5 o'clock, after you're going through your files and looking over certain cases, not really having any breakthroughs because all you're focused on is...
Did Detective Thompson call Yuki, or was that Lenny?
That was
Because
Lenny.
I still have a little bit of Lenny inside me.
We all have a little Lenny inside of us.
All right, so Thompson doesn't really... He was just told about the flower and all that. I do recall that.
He was also told about the flower shop.
Yeah, okay, so he does know about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, going over the files and all that, yeah, but at the same time, I make sure I have that number on hand in case it becomes an issue.
With the number of the flower shop?
Yeah, and I want to make sure I have Walter's home number and his work number on me in case I leave or whatever.
All right.
So I can take care of what I got to do later.
Okay, become 5 o'clock, you hear a knock on the door.
Okay.
On your door, your blinds are all closed right now.
It's open.
And in walks the chief of police, Gregor Sambor.
I'm really tempted to like hold a firearm under the desk at him.
And he comes over to you and he says, Detective Thompson, how are you doing today?
Chief, I guess not terrible. How about yourself?
Says, well, I've had better days. We had a guy drug out earlier and apparently didn't make it.
I heard that.
Well, all right, so the police chief says, well, it would seem that the great Detective Thompson went and lost something. And he throws a cassette tape down on your desk.
Well, it went missing, but I wouldn't say I lost it. Seems like maybe somebody just borrowed it.
Says, well, things go missing around here, and you can't find them, Thompson. I should have you demoted. And he laughs a little bit.
I say that character Lenny is a person of interest in a few cases right now. So I was just doing my job, sir.
Says, yeah, well, I got to tell you, the rantings of this madman were almost laughable. It's like, just trust me. Save yourself from listening to that tape. It gets pretty disturbing. He actually poisoned himself, we found out, probably to cover up his ties to the mafia, and so we couldn't squeeze him for more information. Damn, could have been huge.
Yeah, I spoke with him on a few occasions. Couldn't really get him to slip much, but you'd be surprised. There's always some truth in the ramblings of madmen. So I pick up the tape and just kind of look at it.
He says, I wouldn't hold anything that crazy guy had to say. That guy was a lunatic. And he turns to leave and he goes, have a good day, Detective Thompson. And then he leaves and closes the door behind him.
A little sigh of relief. I assumed it was him that took the tape, master detective and all. Anywho.
Right.
Super sleuth.
So, yeah, I'm a little nervous, especially Lenny mentioned before that he might be involved with the mob dudes, and I didn't know that. I don't know what he knows about me.
Mm-hmm.
But I assume if he's tied in with those guys, they probably may have mentioned me, unless I'm just of no import. So yeah, that's it's quite a relief that he was acting natural.
Mm-hmm.
Poisoned himself.
You have this tape in your hand.
Yeah. I won't listen to it yet.
Okay. Just going to hold on to it for now.
Yep.
All right.
Put it in my jacket pocket.
All right. So that's going to be where we leave Thompson off around 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, Walter, you're still working. Anything you want to accomplish between 5 and your quitting time at 8?
I mean, I would think for the most part, he's probably just doing his job, and I think he's probably getting pretty stir crazy, trying to hold it together, and he's probably concerned just because he hasn't really seen or heard anything from Lenny at this point, or Detective Thompson about Lenny. And I mean, I guess it's been a couple hours since Heather departed, but knowing that she's got to work later and kind of soon, I guess he would have expected to have heard from her. So probably a little bit of pacing back and forth. And
Yeah, you're worried about your friends right now.
yeah, so he's probably had too much coffee at this point. Probably has the jitters.
Jittery.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess if nothing really comes his way, he's probably just frantically thinking about his next move, I guess. Maybe not frantically, but I'm sure 3+ cups of coffee,
Kind of raises your anxiety, definitely.
I would think so.
Yeah. So anything you want to achieve between 5 o'clock and closing time, or are you just focusing on work and trying not to think too much about everything else?
Yeah, I mean, I guess around like 6:30, if I don't hear anything from Heather, I might have to call the fireside and see if she's there and or what's happening with my vehicle.
All right. So Walter's getting a little concerned, and Heather, you wake up. You're not exactly sure when it is, what's going on, or anything. But you're kind of groggily awake, like your eyes barely open. And you see that you're in a room. It's pretty dark, but there's this blue iridescence coming off the walls. Also on the walls, you can see the outline of what you think are flowers blooming from the wall. Then you turn your head directly in front of you. It takes some time for your eyes to adjust to this lighting, but then you see in front of you something unbelievably vile, a deliberate twist of shining, scaly vines, thicker than your arm. They wind and twist before you, almost lewd. But it's then that you realize that this squirming, crawling pile of snakes is actually a single being coiled around itself. Difficult to see, although you can feel its gaze from its third eye in the center of its head. It raises its wiry reptilian hand and points a claw at you. Give me a sanity roll, Heather.
Ooh, you're scared of the claw.
Look out. Here
coming to
comes
get you.
the claw.
Man,
I am actually really scared.
intense. That's a good one.
30.
There's a snake thing?
Yeah, it's a pass.
It's a pass? Okay. So, Heather, this, you're still going to lose 1 sanity from this?
Let's go nuts.
And as this thing points a claw at you, it sounds like it's hissing, but it almost sounds like words. And it starts to close in on you. You try to struggle, but your hands are tied behind you. Your mouth is gagged. You scream, but it's only muffled. And this hideous being gets into your face, and it hisses something at you, and you can't quite understand it till a second later. What did he say through his tongue? Was it snake hole? Give me a sanity roll.
Okay.
Is this how they get people's skins? They put them in his basement and they climb up in their guts?
84.
Is this what an Ophidian looks like?
That's higher than your sanity, right?
Yeah, I have 47.
Okay. You're going to lose an additional 4 sanity. And this is all just too much for you, Heather. Your brain just snaps and all of a sudden everything goes black. You have passed out again.
Real case of the dizzies.
I was hoping you'd go off on like a violent streak.
I was hoping that too.
And she is bound and gagged. Her hands tied behind her back and she's down in like a kneeling position. All right.
Guess I go back to sleep.
Yep.
You guys later.
Sleepy time for Heather again.
Nighty night.
Walter, it's closing time for you now.
Well, wait a minute. What happened? I tried to call the fireside around like 6:30.
Oh, around 6:30. Yeah, let's get back to that. So 6:30, you getting worried. You called the fireside, and you hear Sal pick up. He goes, "Yeah, Fireside Tavern."
Hey, Sal, right?
Yeah, this is Sal. What do you want?
I thought so. Hey, I'm a friend of Heather's. She borrowed my car earlier. Did she ever show up for work?
Says no, but, Heather's usually late anyway. She's supposed to start at 6. She's usually here by now, but sometimes she's extra late.
Yeah, I see. Well, maybe it's nothing then. This is her pal Walter. I guess if you see her...
Oh, yeah, the professor.
He chuckles. So yeah, you do remember me. Sure, that's me. I had hoped to stop by and have some drinks later. I thought she was going to be working. I guess if I don't hear from her sooner, maybe I'll just stop by and see you later if you're going to be covering her shift until then.
Says, yeah, of course. Just come on in, Professor. We got a nice cold cause waiting for you here.
Nice. Thank you.
Heather
much.
should be in later. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah. He says, thanks, Sal. Hangs up.
All right.
I missed Sal's voice.
Totally.
So that was 6:30, Thompson. It's almost quitting time for you.
Yeah, I want to go back down to the lab just to check in before I leave. I assume, unless there's a lot going on, she might not stay too late. So try to catch her before she goes and see if she knows anything yet. So I head down.
Okay, so you head down to the crime lab and you go over to Catherine. She goes, "Oh, Detective Thompson. Yeah, so I have the analysis of those pedals for you." She's like, "The chemical breakdown of them is pretty strange," and she starts showing you all these lines and letters and things that you don't quite understand. Give me a science roll, though, if you have any particular science.
I'd like to see any of the results and printouts that you might have, as well as maybe what it might look like under a microscope as well.
Mm-hmm.
Science?
Do you have any particular sciences?
I do not. So 1%. Yo, I rolled a 3.
Oh,
Can I spend 2 luck?
You can.
What kind of science? Is this like biology? Just would
This
this
is more
help
like
me
biology.
get a basic start in biology?
Yeah, there you go. Should be an easy one to pass if you make it through the chapter.
Might as well. I kind of want to know what happens.
Yeah, don't be cheap. 2 luck.
Pass on a 1%. Hell yeah.
So you took some chemistry courses in college before you joined the police force, and some of it starts coming back to you, and you start seeing these carbon connections that are all organic, and you start to see other molecules that look very similar to like LSD, but slightly off from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know the chemical makeup of that from busting kids doing hallucinogens kind of thing, and getting it analyzed. But Catherine has helped you analyzed it before. it's definitely some sort of weird hallucinogen or poison or something. And Catherine says to you, I gave it to 2 different lab mice, and
People love doing that.
they both of them acted very erratic and then died.
Poor little Mises.
Some kind of overdose? A heart attack?
Maybe I gave them too much. I don't know, but I just gave the slightest little drop.
You still have those mice?
She says, well, you'd have to go through the bio trash. I wouldn't recommend doing that, though.
Gross.
Well, we still have some of the flour. Depending on the results of an autopsy I'll get tomorrow, I'd kind of like to see if there's something similar. But tomorrow's another day. You knocking off?
She goes, no, I'm here till 10.
All right, well, I'll let you know if I need anything. Thanks again. I've got more work to do.
She says, you're welcome, Detective Thompson, and blushes a little bit.
I don't have anything good to say.
Got no one-liner there.
Not this time.
That's okay.
He leaves lost in thought. The sun's already gone down, so
Right.
he can't put the glasses on.
Not at this point.
I mean, it would just be weird. Okay, in that case, I'm starting to get kind of hungry. You said it's just about 5?
Yeah, about 5. It's about 5.
I'll go back to my office, grab my coat and hat and all that. But I'm gonna call. I'll call Joe Clocks instead of waiting for him to call me.
Okay. We're going to say after you eat and everything, it's about 6:30. Walter, you just hang up with the...
No, I was gonna. If we were meeting up somewhere, I was gonna get food while I was out.
Oh, you call... So you're calling to set up a meeting.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, so you call him at 5 o'clock. So, Walter, before you get that call from Heather, not from Heather, fuck. Before you call the fireside asking about Heather, you get a call from Detective Thompson, which Headley, roots to you.
Okay. Hey, Luke, how are you?
Not bad. I think we have some things that we should go over. Normally I might wait till I have everything, but honestly I haven't eaten in a while. So if you want to meet up, what time are you done?
Well, I'm generally here till to 8. That wraps up my shift.
Woof.
I'd hope to get a drink later at the fireside. Maybe if you had something to eat, get your constitution up. I don't know if you're much of a drinker, but it's a bar down in South Philly. Have you ever been there?
I'm familiar with it.
I mean, you don't have to be honest with Walter, but you've trailed Lenny there before.
Neat. Did he see when the Windwalker was outside? I guess not.
No, he wasn't there at that
No,
point.
he wasn't there. Did he watch Lenny beat? Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I figured it would have. It might have even come up as someone related to the whole Millie case, being that she kind of has a family connection and that's where she works. I might have even known about it from that as well. Or if that's why he also trailed Lenny there, I don't know. He'd been around for a little bit. I forget about these things.
Simultaneous perspectives.
That's fair. In that case, I'll take care of it. I'll see you there after 8.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, I think we should meet up. I've got some info to share with you as well.
Very good. Click.
I think at that point, Walter may not have been as frantic or jittery, so he wasn't as concerned. So he probably wouldn't have, set off any warnings or anything. And he probably didn't take his call in the back either. So he was out in the main area. So he probably also wanted to keep it cool for that reason alone.
Mm-hmm. So, I guess 8 o'clock rolls around. Where do you guys meet up at?
If I don't hear anything from Heather before then, I'd be looking to make my way down to the fireside.
Okay, you do not hear anything from Heather before then. So 8 o'clock, and you go down to the fireside.
Catch a cab.
No. And when you get there, you walk in and you see that, the place is, as usual, not very busy. There's no drooly there today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Oh my God. No, I went. Ugh, nothing. Thompson and Drooly. Oh.
What a match made in heaven.
Oh, man. That's coming your way.
So when you get there, Sal says,
Oh, hey there, Professor.
Howdy, Sal. Give him a nod.
Says, you heard from Hedda? Because I haven't yet.
and he's cracking open a Coors for you and sliding it to you already.
Yeah, that's kind of on my mind as well. I mean, I mentioned giving her the car earlier, and I knew she was going to work tonight. I'd hoped to catch up with her. Damn. He kind of looks around and takes inventory of the patrons.
Mm-hmm.
Takes a sip of his nice, refreshing Coors after a long, stressful day.
Trying to get that sponsorship, man. Anyway, so...
Love it.
So you look around, you see a couple faces that look a little familiar, but I mean, you've never talked to these people, but you've seen them here a couple times before.
Mainly a little relieved that Julie's not here, but also looking around, is Thompson here?
Not yet, I don't think.
You might walk in shortly after Walter.
Okay.
Maybe he was casing the joint.
Okay, just get there a little earlier than him and just kind of sit out front for a while.
Maybe. I mean, he wouldn't know.
Ooh,
It's just
that's so sneaky.
Or he's just really good at being fashionably late.
But Walter, not too long after you sit down and have talked to Sal, you see Detective Thompson walk in.
All right. I'd just like to note, too, that I sit next to where Lenny would ordinarily sit. Leave his spot open.
And
Fuck.
Thompson walks in.
I kind of scan the room and see Walter, head over to him.
Thompson, this is a bar that, you've seen bars like this before, but not quite this dingy.
I mean, I've been a lot of places.
Real character to it.
Yeah. Yeah, the job comes with a lot of characters.
So you sit down, you find Walter, work your way over to him.
I stand next to the stool that I would guess I would have sat on next to him, but like now it's kind of between us. I was kind of leaning elbow on the bar.
Okay.
Give him a nod as he approaches.
I say, Walter, good to see you.
Likewise.
So I got some info on those flowers.
Actually, you might notice Walter looking around a little bit. Are there any patrons like right up on us in earshot?
Not really. No, you're pretty isolated.
Cool.
I take one of the ones in a bag that I saved. I show him. I was like, I managed to get my hands on a piece or two.
Damn. And if he allows him to take it, he'll examine it a little closer. Try to hold it up to whatever light. Are there any of those like overhead stained glass lamps that the bars usually have?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the ones that like hang down over a pool table, but there is no pool table. There's a shuffleboard table, but they do have one of those really long lights that are, like the stained glass kind above it.
He kind of like gets down low and uses the brighter section of that to kind of examine it.
All right. Well, the first thing that you notice as soon as you get under the light is that this flower petal is pretty wilted right now.
Does it seem like it's like fast acting?
It seems like it's wilting a lot quicker than it should.
Strange. It seemed fine a few hours ago.
Oh, well, maybe it can't breathe in here. Doesn't really know too much about plants.
It is pretty smoky.
He doesn't open it, but he does examine it visually.
All right. Walter, you examine this, and the more wilted it gets, the less kind of purpley it gets. It looks more black as it wilts.
Gosh, it certainly is dark. But I guess it's also dark in here. But where did you get this? What you said you got a couple pieces of it? He gives it back to him.
Your pal Lenny said he told me exactly where to find it. I helped myself to a few pieces. What do you know about this flower anyway? So far, all I can tell is it's a hallucinogen, and that it might even have the power to kill.
Well, gosh, he takes note again that we're still kind of isolated and says, I do know a bit about it, and I do have some things I'd hope to show you, but honestly, the lighting here might not be the best for what I had in mind. You might look a little concerned at this point.
I've got another piece if you want to keep that one.
Oh, yeah, interesting. I guess the only person I'd have to analyze it, I'm not sure I can trust at this point, but maybe it'll come in handy. And he secures it in his little satchel, that is. Listen, maybe we should just have a drink, and I guess somewhere where there's better light, we could continue this conversation. Maybe a little privacy. I know people aren't really leaning over our shoulder here, but there are some serious things that maybe you need to know. And he takes a long swig of his beer.
I've got nothing to hide. I mean, but if you would rather do it somewhere more private, I don't know, we could go for a drive. That kind of brings me to something else I wanted to go over. Well, might as well just do it here. Your pal Lenny, he's dead.
What? No. I mean, you sure that you found him already?
Yeah, I saw him just a couple hours ago. They got him. They brought him to the precinct. He was then unresponsive and had to be taken to Jefferson Hospital.
Yes.
Oh, no. And he finishes the rest of his beer, and
I haven't gotten any of the info yet. It's, I mean, I guess it's not like it's big news, but don't go running around to the media or anything yet. This is between us, obviously.
This is pretty uneasy and kind of slides his bottle across the bar. Not really to Sal, but, like away from his edge of the bar.
Right. I look over to Sal, and I kind of tap the bar and put down a 20.
You see him, his back is turned to you right now, and then he turns around and goes,
"Oh, yeah, sorry. What can I get you?"
Look at Walter. 2 whiskeys. Or make it scotch. And I put down another 10, I guess.
okay.
30 should
He
be
says,
plenty.
"You want your scotch, straight up, or you want it on the rocks there?"
Just too neat. It's a toast to the fallen.
He says, "Oh, okay."
And he pours out 2 whiskeys.
He says, you might want 3 there, Sal. Just got some bad news about our pal Lenny.
He goes, "Oh, what happened?"
He ain't going to be taking his seat here no more. And he looks over at Lenny's old seat.
He says, "What, did he move or something?"
The good detective
Getting emotional.
This is really upsetting, guys. I'm like tearing up, like for real.
Stop it. You're going to make me do it.
I'm trying to look normal.
Look up.
Every time I
Look up.
every time I look at my own square, I'm like, you look like you're crying.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
I'm not.
Oh, it's really hot.
My cheeks are sweating. Weird.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
He looks back to Sal. He says, the good detective here has just informed me that Lenny has passed on.
He goes, "Oh, no. Not Lenny. Not Lenny."
Not Lenny.
He looks down and shakes his head.
He goes, "Well, oh, man." And he puts both hands on the bar. He's like, "Lenny was here, like, every Thursday. Sometimes on the weekends. And, he was a good guy, right? It's tough to see a good guy like that go." And he puts his head down and he pours his own little glass of whiskey. And he holds it up and he goes, "To Lenny."
To Lenny.
Hold mine up.
cheers, and Sal takes his whole thing in just one quick gulp down. He takes that, that neat rocks glass, but just gulps the whole thing down, puts it down, and goes.
As does Walter. Maybe not as cool and stoic as he does, but
He says, well, one thing that I could say, life goes on, right?
And he puts the thing down. He goes,
Well, it has to.
He goes, I hope I can hear some details about the funeral. I would like to go to that.
yeah, of course. I'll certainly keep you in the loop there as information becomes available.
I say excuse me, and I walk to the bathroom.
okay. Walter, you're left at the bar alone when Sal walks away and starts to, fill other people's glasses. And
Yeah, he says, Sal, do me a favor and ring that bell. And he puts down a 20, I guess, to start, depending on how
Okay.
much it adds up to.
all right, and then you hear the bell go off, and everyone jolts in their seat for a little bit after that fire alarm rings. Thompson, you hear it in the bathroom too, loud as shit. And then everyone goes, after everyone jumps from this, they all go, oh, yay! They kind of clap a little bit.
And he goes, it's on Professor over here.
And then everyone, raises their glasses, some of them even empty to you.
There you go.
All 5 of the clientele here.
Nice.
Step out of the bathroom, kind of wiping my mustache a little bit.
Got a little disco powder in your stash there, Thompson.
I walk back over.
Oh my god, I didn't get it.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
Um,
You guys are hysterically crying.
You're distracted. I understand. You're not thinking about cocaine.
Yep.
Think about nose beers.
I leave the 30 I put down too. I say, yeah, keep the change. And I say, Walter, let's go for a drive.
Yeah, definitely. Sal, I guess you'll probably hear from her before I do, but, likewise, if I hear from Heather, I'll get her in touch with you.
Sal says to you,
Well, I know you guys haven't known each other too long, but my condolences nonetheless.
Well, they had a complicated relationship longer than Sal really knows.
True that.
As, the guy that hated my truck.
That's kind of you.
so you guys leave the fireside, hop in Thompson's sweet Thunderbird.
Is it a bitchin' Thunderbird?
Did you check your notes for that?
What year Thunderbird would you say this is?
Good question.
Yeah.
Let's say it's a 63 Thunderbird.
That would constitute as bitchin'.
Let me just look it up real quick. 63 Thunderbird.
Get in, I unlock the doors.
Oh, wow. That's definitely a Thompson car.
Man, now I gotta look it up.
It's a sweet ride.
Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what I pictured him driving. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Who knew that Sal loved Lenny that much? And Sal would be the one to make us, choke up and fuck
I
up.
knew.
All along. See, that's why everyone loves Sal.
Yep.
It's that voice.
It is the
My
voice,
character
yeah.
sheet says pretend dad for Sal. Sal Lombardi.
Heather is hilariously
no.
pathetic. I fucking love her.
It's really great.
You write what you know.
Oh. Yes. That's good. That's pretty funny. That is neat.
Oh, so we'll say you guys were at the bar for about an hour there. Just kind of chilling out for a little bit. I'm just going to move things down about an hour when you are in the car and are driving, just cruising around right now.
So I get in the driver's seat, light up a cig, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Roll my window down a bit. Say, I have a tape that I haven't listened to yet.
You have a tape deck in your car.
Yeah, I got a sweet tape deck.
Yeah. You got to put in.
It's bitchin'.
What do you mean? What's on it?
I picture a pop-up for some reason. It's it's attached to the center console. It's got like a pop-up slide in. I don't know why, but it seems like it would be like overly technological for a tape deck for a car.
Yeah, just to make sure if this is a regular cassette like we're used to in the 80s, it definitely would not fit in the radio here in this Thunderbird unless you had something aftermarket.
No, you
installed.
had some aftermarket shit put in there.
Okay, sweet. Just in case.
Yeah.
So yeah, I slide the tape in. I say, this is whatever happened in the interrogation room between Lenny and the chief of police, who might be involved in in all this.
Wait. He says Lenny mentioned him before too.
Yeah, they said he said the mob got to him, or at least Chucky and Joey.
Luke, listen, before you listen to this, you got to understand, if your chief got to Lenny, that means they know everything Lenny knew, potentially. Oh, man. I was kind of worried before about telling you some of this stuff, but may not even matter now if they already got to Lenny. And he kind of sits back in his seat. He says, I guess let's play it.
What did Lenny say about the chief of police and Chucky and Joey? He was always very cryptic with me. He never really gave it to me straight. Did he tell you anything that he would have held from me?
Yeah, probably. He looks a little uneasy, and he says, there's something I wanted to show you, if you want to see that before listening to the tape. And he rummages through his thick-ass bag that has, like, 4 of those books.
Mm-hmm.
He produces a couple sections of copied paper. He says,
start the car and turn the dome light on or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He says, this is maybe something that's better to read at first. He kind of scratches his head. He says, listen, Luke, I don't expect that you'll believe this information that I'm going to share with you. And before, I was kind of worried that revealing it to you would kind of put the noose around both of our necks, in a sense. But if what Lenny said about them getting to the chief of police is true, it may already be too late. He may already know, everything. Never mind, I already said that. And he gives you a piece of paper that has a section of the Magus, the Speculum Magus, and some information on there.
Take the book. I say, well...
It's not the book, though. It's just a copied piece of paper.
I say, if the chief is involved with the mob, he probably already knows everything involved with them anyway. What else would he have told them? And I start to open the book. Anywhere in particular I'm looking for?
Well, you start looking at the copied pages.
There's a couple papers in particular. He says, if what you gave me is what I think it is, and he flips to the page that's specific about the different types of toxins that the Ophidians can produce.
Okay.
And he says, this is probably what they gave Lenny. Maybe more than once, but definitely once.
What exactly is... does it say, like, Ophidian toxins and stuff? Like, what exactly is an Ophidian?
It might not mention the Ophidian specifically, because these are, like, notes, like cliff notes, written on the sides of the pages or whatever.
It talks about the Ophidians, and it says they're masters of poisons.
Oh, okay. I forgot
toxins.
what was on that page.
There were 2 different ones, right? And there was... the one was the bite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a venomous bite. Corrosive killer, black lotus poison. It's like a Malaysian lotus, but pink. Maybe we did call it. We named it Malaysian lotus. Oh, wait. No, I don't know.
That's just where it's from.
Yeah. Oh, I see. That's the other one. Or maybe. Okay, so I learned about those. That's good, because he don't know about that shit. So, are you trying to say that...
Well, I mean, if they gave him the truth serum, I don't know. I mean, depending on... When I last saw him, he was, he was crazy almost. I mean, maybe not almost, and maybe he was kind of crazy.
Oh, he was. Oh, I saw him. Yeah.
There's no telling what they told him, but...
Is this some kind of cult? Or, I don't understand, these masters of poison. How is my boss one and the mob?
That's a different section, and he goes to the page that has the information about how they perform the ritual of consuming another and like taking on their identity and things like that.
Does it describe it?
It does.
In detail.
What does it say?
Over the course of, I believe it's 2 days. Over the course of 2 days, they actually consume the body of the person that they are going to copy. It is called consume likeness. Yeah, the spell.
It doesn't say that it's a spell, does it? It just talks about consuming someone's likeness over 2 days.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are some zealots' mad writings, but, I mean, it would only take about 2 days to mold and run some skins of somebody's body, I suppose. These people are making masks.
Well, I can't say for 100% on that, but Lenny was pretty sure that this is what we're talking about
kept saying
here.
That they were like pod people. They weren't themselves, and all the evidence I've seen about that was more or less true, other than seeing the change or who they are. Some of these people definitely aren't who they used to be. For sure. Well, I guess let's see what's on this tape. Go on.
I mean, the reason I bring it up is if the bosses that he mentioned were after him, if they're in cahoots with your boss and they use this truth serum on Lenny, it's conceivable that anything Lenny told you up to the point that they drugged him, he might have shared with them. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I think I could see that. Like I said, however, Lenny was always a bit standoffish and cryptic with a lot of the things he told me. I always got the feeling he was never telling me everything, and I'd never heard about half of the stuff here. And this is somehow tied to this flower, huh?
Yeah, more so than just this. It's all connected,
Flower.
Nice. Patreon callback, I like it. He says that autopsy that you found for us, it's kind of connected to that too. The books that I got this information, well, these books and some others that I got, they once belonged to that Raymond Tooley guy.
I was wondering how he was involved. Lenny did briefly go on. He doesn't think he died of natural causes, and I've never seen a heart attack like that on an autopsy. And I'm hoping when I get Lenny's tomorrow, it's not going to be the same. I'm hoping.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of too.
Well, and I press play on the sweet cassette player.
Okay. So when you press play on there, you hear Lenny's voice say, leave me alone! And you hear thrashing sounds. It's the manacles on the table. You recognize that sound, Thompson. It sounds like Lenny might even be moving the table a little bit. And you hear him scream, I didn't do nothing. Nothing's real anymore. You can't hold me. I gotta warn everybody. The snake people are coming. And you hear the chief, Gregor Sambor, go, calm down, Mr. Cobb. We can talk through this. And then you hear more thrashing and just grunting sounds. And then you hear the chief go, we know that you are dangerous, Lenny. And then Lenny says, I didn't do nothing. Let me go. Oh, I see. You're one of them there. I see you. Get away from me. And then you hear, followed by,
What the hell was that?
then a thud. And then you hear a door open and close. And then what sounds like someone maybe picking up the recorder.
Damn.
And that's where we're going to end our episode.
Oh, man. Right in the feels.
Listening to Lenny's voice for the last time, even though it was not the same as Lenny's voice, but
This
Yeah.
This
still, like, the thought
episode goes out to Sal. always had Lenny's back. We never knew.
Yep.
We never knew. He loved that dude.
Sal Lombardi.
All right. Well, guys, that was, I guess, a tearjerker. But thanks to everyone for listening to this sad episode. And everyone remember, until next time, that sanity is overrated.
Thanks, guys. Keeps a little little container.
Tootsie.
George, I have a question for you real quick, too.
Yeah.
What is your favorite dinosaur?
Okay.
Pachycephalosaurus.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that question.
I like the backpack of Cephalosaurus because it's easier to carry. I don't know. Which one's the pack of...
That's like the one that has like the dome on the head. That's they thought that
Oh, the
maybe
ram
they
guy?
rammed. Yeah, the ram head guy.
That's cool. Is it spelled like pachyderm? Are they horses?
Yeah, it's packy means thick.
Oh, that girl Packy. That's a Packy John. Okay.
A packy John.
I just Googled ram dinosaur and it came right up.
Yeah,
Those guys are cool.
Pachycephalosaurus. Hey, this is George. Just a quick reminder to like, follow, and review us if you like what you're hearing. And if you want to support us and make our show better, head on over to our Patreon. You can always email us at contact@thatcthulhujohn.com with any comments, and you can follow us on Instagram @thatcthulhujohn.